question for Amart. Alex, what is your funniest or favorite AJ Cat story? I have 1,000, but I know you have some that I haven't heard yet. So what is it, man?
Well, it's kind of funny. I feel like we were talking about this the other day, but like last year when I talked to AJ, it's like, it's really cool to see what you've done with the Moto Academy and the community and your riding schools and the amount of people you've been able to work with and touch. It's definitely inspirational for us with troll training, but at the end of the day, like I still have this mental picture in my mind of AJ at club playing MX versus ATV, just like nobody could beat the kid on MX versus ATV. And then he's in the club gym, he's just doing bicep curls. Wants to get ripped. Wants to get pulled. And then he's going out riding Supercross. He's like, dude, I'm getting arm pumps so bad. And he's just having protein shakes and he's doing bicep curls.
Just Rhino Power protein shakes, just jacked.
And I'm like, AJ, you want to go for a run?
Glamour muscles.
Yeah. Man, yeah. I was so dumb, but I think that was important because I think the level of dumbness, the amount of unconscious that I think was completely necessary for me to have like a revolutionary, like a huge turnaround. You know what I mean? I like couldn't be any more different than I was. What would have been those years? 2012, 2013, maybe 2014.
Yeah. I feel like, between 2012 and 2014.
Yes.
I think I was there 2010 in a camper with Durham, and then I came back in 11. I feel like a lot of my 11-10 mods days was spent there, and then first couple of years was Cycle Trader, Rock River Yamaha. But, at the end of the day, like, we were in the early 20s, AJ. Like, most people would still be in college or just getting out of college. Like, we were just kind of figuring out life at that time, and it was like a point of our lives where we didn't really have a lot of like pressure or like expectations or like bills. We weren't married, didn't have kids. Like it just was, I look back at that and I'm like, man, definitely a very unique, it was kind of like our college days really.
Yeah.
Way.
Did you look at it that way then? Because I know that I certainly did. I was in the mindset then of basically survival mode of this is every day is, every race is the most important thing I've ever done. And if I don't perform, it's the complete end of the world. I felt so much pressure all the time.
Yeah, I guess I didn't feel like the pressure that much. I feel like just the thought of getting hurt, injuries wasn't quite on my mind. But I think, like each year, you were living paycheck to paycheck, or each day, paycheck to paycheck, race to race. I don't know. I feel like with 11-10, I was just really happy to be like working out, training, and riding my dirt bike. Like at that point, I was really happy. I was barely breaking even. I feel like financially, like we were just barely scraping by. Like I remember, I think in 2012, I had a contract with Fly Racing for like 30 grand. And I was like, dude, I made it. I have made it.
The Moto Academy 2.0 app is now available. This is an all new platform to take your learning in the Moto Academy community to the absolute next level. Go to themotoacademy.com, join our online community today for all of your training, fitness, mental coaching, community building, anything two wheels. Themotoacademy.com is going to be your spot. See you guys there.
And then I think my wife moved in with me for the summer, and I was like, dude, I don't have enough money to get groceries hardly, with two people living together off 30 grand. But it was definitely, I feel like that really forged the rest of for me, my racing career. I went another 10 years in my racing career, and I feel like that kind of forged like the grit, the tenacity to kind of be there at the end. And like, once I got my factory ride, it was like, all right, like, now we're making good money. We got good bikes, a good support system. But I feel like the privateer days really kind of helped build that grit,
100%. I mean, I'm not saying for me, I'm saying for you. You can see that. And what year was it when you things pretty kicked in and you started making proper money? What year would that have been?
2015.
2015?
Yeah, I think so. In 2014, because I had spent most of my years before that, like on the East Coast as a privateer, whether it was down in Florida, Georgia, or South Carolina at club. And I made the decision to go to California and just try the West Coast program out. And at that time, Cycle Trader had been renting a factory Yamaha engine. So the engine was really good. The suspension was good. And it kind of just all came together where like my program was better. I was doing a lot of training with like Osho and my brother on the West Coast. And then the bike and the team was good. So I think I got 2 podiums that year in West Coast Supercross. And then I won a moto at Budds Creek outdoors. And then I got my star ride after that.
Was that the moto that it was you and Jeremy? Yeah. That was epic. That was
pretty cool.
That was, I mean, completely epic. So Jackson's popping on. Jackson can help field what are probably a bunch of questions from everybody rolling in, if that's cool, Alex. And then that way we can just, I'm sure I see somebody ask for a Phil Nicoletti story.
Can we hear a Phil Nicoletti story from those days? Oh, God bless.
Oh my gosh. Well, there was a small point of time in, I don't remember what year it was, 2015 maybe, where I was living on the couch was it Phil's house or was it your house?
When we were at club, we rented a place.
You and Phil did. And then I was staying on the couch, and I can't remember if it was for a week or a month or a day. To me, it felt like it was a lifetime, but do you remember that?
Yeah. Sure do.
If you guys enjoyed this podcast clip and you want to listen to full episodes, you can do so on Spotify and Apple Music. If you want to send in your own video submission, you can join us in the Moto Academy family inside of the Moto Academy app by just going to themotoacademy.com. That's also where you can sign up for a class. Okay, guys, see you next episode.